Okay. Okay. So heat equations. First discuss the one dimensional. In 1D heat equation, you know that del U by del T is equal to C square. Del square U by del X square is the heat equation. This is the heat equation, right? And you get a general solution for it, depending on the given conditions. In most of the cases, if you see, it will come out to be like sigma some bn, okay, sine of something and e to the power minus n square c square t, that kind of thing. Now, what happens is there are two, three terms that you should be aware of, like what it actually means. First thing is the steady state. First thing is the steady state. So steady state means there is no more change in temperature with respect to time. That is del u by del t is 0. So whenever they say that it's steady state, it they mean that del u by del t is equal to 0. Now the heat equation is del u by del t is equals to c square del square u by del x square. So if del u by del t becomes 0, so this will imply that del square u by del x square equals to 0, which will give you that u is equals to ax plus b is the solution, right? For some constant a and b. So this will be your steady state solution. Now, second thing, okay, the second thing is there will be mainly two, three types of question. The first type will be like the standard type that you must have solved. Like you will have initial conditions. Yeah. So then it will be some L0 equals to 0, and one additional condition or two additional conditions will be given to you. You have to solve. Then in the second case, uh, you will have the boundaries, the temperature may be, let's say, a, and for the other end let it be b. It will be that kind of condition. Now the problem is, because the boundary conditions, that is the edges have non-zero temperature, so when you try to substitute it, like in if I try to substitute in this b and sine some, let's say, kx and e to the power minus t, if in this if I try to substitute it, okay, then I will not be able to get eliminate the, please mute the mic. Okay, so you get the equation in the form that u is equals to some c1 sine kx plus c2 cos kx, okay, cos kx into some e minus n square c square t. Okay. Now, as the boundary conditions are non-zero, let's say a and b. So when you put it, a is equals to some c1 sine k into 0 plus c2. So you will not be able to eliminate c1 and c2. So you will not be able to reduce this to a standard form or a more easier form to solve. That creates a problem. So what we actually do is we take u of xt as sum of two different solutions. One will be a steady state solution just depending on x, and one will be a transient solution that will depend on time as well. Okay, so and the steady state conditions will be same. The boundary conditions will be same. So for the transient solution xt, it will become uxt minus usx. Now, if for this the first type has temperature A, this also temperature A, but you will get Q of 0T. Okay, UT of 0T will come out to be 0. Similarly, UT of LT will be equal to B minus B equal to 0. So we manipulate the solution in such a way that we zero boundary conditions, so that we are able to identify the constant easily. So we will solve this question also. Okay. So let's give me 1 second. Let me open the PDF and let's do some questions. Just give me 1 second. Okay, let me tell you the next concept and then we will do the question together. Okay. Then the last thing is about the insulation. Insulation. What does insulation means? So if any one end can be insulated or both ends can be insulated for the bar or for the rod or the material. So when insulation is done, then del U by del X becomes 0. Okay. So at that X equal to X naught, if X naught point is insulated, it means at that point del U by del X will become 0. This is the reason being flux should be equal to 0. And flux is dependent on X. So if flux is 0, del U by del X should be 0. So the main condition that you should know about, steady state means del U by del T equal to 0. Insulations means del U by del X equals to 0. And if the ends of the bar, that is the boundary condition, have non-zero temperature, then you actually split the solution in two forms. One is the steady state and one is the transient solution. Okay, and let's see. Please ask if this is clear to you or not clear to you. Okay, this is very straightforward. Insulation means del U by del X equals to 0. Steady state means del U by del T equals to 0. That is temperature distribution is time independent. Okay, insulation means the flux should be 0. Therefore, it should not depend on the X. That is the coordinates. And then let's see some questions. Are you able to see the PDF that I've shared? Can you see the PDF now?
Yes, we can hear. See.
I hope it's readable. It's very small in font size. Okay. Now, if you see the example, it came in 2011 for 20 marks. The question says, obtain temperature distribution in a uniform bar of unit length, whose one end is kept at 10 degree and the other end is insulated. So what did I tell you? That if something is insulated, okay, if anything is insulated, then it means that at that point del U by del X should be 0. Del U by del Y, in this case, del Y by del X should be 0. Okay. So there are two things. The first thing is the end temperature is non-zero. That is, you have 10 degrees centigrade at the end. Okay. And second thing is the other end is insulated. So let's assume that at the point 0, 0, the temperature is 10 degrees. And the other end, that is at the length 1, the temperature, uh, the end is insulated. It is del U by del X is 0 at that point. So it is, suppose the bar is placed along the x-axis, which one end at 10 degree at origin and other end at x equal to 1. Okay, because the K dy by dx is 0 there, K being the thermal conductivity, the flux is 0 there. Okay, so now you will, this part you can easily do. So what are the boundary conditions? The first boundary condition is that at 0t, y of 0t, that is at the point, at any time, at any given time, the end placed at the origin has temperature 10 degrees centigrade, and at the other point yx, that is del y by del x of 1t equal to 0, it is the flux at that point is 0. This is the second boundary condition, right? Because the other end is insulated. This comes from the fact that other end is insulated. Other end is insulated. Now, if you see the initial conditions, they have said that initially yx0 equal to 1 minus x. Now, this part is very easy, straightforward. Now, writing the solution, I told you that whenever there is a non-zero temperature, we divide the solution in two parts. One is the transient solution and other is the steady state solution. Here, because temperature is not changing, so you don't need to write a solution for it. You can directly use 10. So what they did is they wrote the transient solution as uxt, right? Transient solution as uxt plus the steady state solution is always 10. Temperature remains 10 always. So by this you will get uxt equal to yxt minus 10. Yxt minus 10. Okay. Now if you see, now see the boundary conditions. At the boundary conditions, okay, because this is constant. So if I differentiate this with respect to x, so ux of xt is equals to yx of xt, right? Because 10 will become 0 after differentiation. So ux of 1t is also equal to 0, same as the above condition. Then y of 0t is 10 and minus 10. 10 minus 10 will become 0. So u of 0t will become 0. So the thing that we wanted to achieve, that we wanted both the boundary conditions to be 0 so that we can easily eliminate the constants. That we have achieved. Now writing the initial condition. Initial condition, what was the shape of the curve at t equal to 0 for any given point. So yx0 was 1 minus x. Okay, and uxt is yxt minus 10. So put it the value here, 1 minus x minus 10, it will become minus x minus 9, which is minus or bracket x plus 9. So you have got this value. Now you don't solve for y, you only solve for u, and then you put the value of u in the final solution, because u the equation u has boundary condition which are both 0, and you also have an initial condition for the ux0, which is minus x plus 9. So you can easily solve it now. Okay, the process remains same as the standard solution, like using a variable separable method, then taking three conditions, u equal to 0, u equal to lambda square, u equal to minus lambda square, and then decide accordingly. Now you can see x and it x dash y x dash, because del u by del x was 0, right? Del u by del x was 0. Then now they did it, and you can find the conditions according to that. A will become 0, then cos lambda should be equal to 0. That can cos lambda is 0 on odd multiples of pi by 2. So 2n minus 1 pi by 2. So from this lambda becomes 2n minus 1 pi by 2. Okay, then you put the values in the final equation and you solve for it. The solution is very straightforward, very straightforward. So this is the first thing. Okay, this is the first thing that you can do. Now I want to do one question. Okay. Please ask if it's clear to you or not, because I'm not able to write on the PDF. So what is this thing? Like let's say a bar of length, this L is given, and temperature here is A degree, and temperature here is B degree. Okay, temperature here is A degree and temperature here is B degree. Now I want to write a solution for it. So if I want to, let's say yxt is the distribution of temperature. So when I write yxt, because the temperatures are non-zero, I cannot write it because if I write it that way, I will not be able to eliminate the constants. So what I actually do is I write it as a steady state solution, S being the steady state solution, okay, which will just depend on X. It will be time independent. Plus, I will write it transient state solution. Okay, transient state solution, which will be X, also depend on time. And I will solve for this. So I will define this in such a way that uxt is equals to yxt minus u of x. Okay, I'm writing the subscript again and again. Now this, and I will decide it in like a manner that I get zero boundary conditions. How it will happen? Now I know that temperature distribution is A to B in the steady state. Steady state means del square u upon del x square 0. Why this happens? Because I told you del u by del t is equal to 0. And from the heat equation, del u by del t is equals to c square del square u by del x square. Right? So if del u by del t is 0, automatically implies that this should also be 0. This equals to 0. From this we got u ax plus b. Take c1 plus c2. Okay. Take c1 plus c2, c1x plus c2. Okay. Now I know that at x equal to 0, u is equals to sorry, this is y is equals to a, right? So it means that c2 is equals to a, and x is equals to l, that is at the other end, y is equals to b. So b is equals to c1l plus a. This will give c1 is equals to b minus a by l. So you will get the steady state solution, that is us u of x is equals to, that is it will be a plus b minus a by l times x. This will be your steady state solution. Okay, why did I take this? Because now if I find the transient solution, okay, which is y of xt minus u of x, so let's find 0 t. It will be y of 0t minus u of 0. What is y of 0t? I know that the at the initial end the temperature is A. What is u of 0t? It will be A plus b minus a l times 0 is equals to 0, right? So I got the boundary condition 0. Let's check for the other end also. U of lt is equals to b, right? Y of lt minus u of l. Y of lt, I know that it is b. And what is ul? Ul is a plus b minus a by l into l. We will get b minus a, okay, minus b plus a, because l will cancel out. You will get b minus a here. You will get 0. So I have got both u of 0t is equals to u of lt is equals to 0. And that's the whole reason that we divided the solution in two parts, transient solution, because we wanted 0 and 0 at the boundaries, so that we can easily eliminate the c1 c2 in the solution, the general solution, and we can reach to a particular solution for that. Okay, so that is the thing. That's similarly, if the condition was given, what kind of conditions can be given? You can get the one boundary, there can be three conditions. First thing will be you will get boundary conditions. Okay, boundary conditions with some temperature. Okay, like y of 0t is equals to y of lt is equals to 0. Okay, This will be your condition. The second type of boundary conditions can be non-zero boundary conditions. Non-zero, in that you will get y of 0 t some a and y of lt some b, and we know we just solve it. How to solve it? Then you take ux plus u of xt. Okay, that is u transient and u steady state. You divide the whole solution in two forms, right? Now the third case will be case of insulation. Okay, case of insulation. Let's say no boundary condition is given, but it is said that uh, both of the boundaries are insulated. So that will mean del y by del x at the x equal to 0 is equals to 0. Del y by del x at x equals to l is equals to 0. From this also you can get two boundary conditions. How? Okay, because let's say the general solution is c1 sine kx plus c2 cos kx, okay, into e to the power minus n square c square t. Okay, let this be y. Now if I find del y by del x, you will get k times c1 cos kx minus c2 sin kx, okay, into minus n square c square t. Now del y by del x at x equals to 0 is equals to k into c1, right? For this will become 0, this will become 1, k into c1, and this will give c1 equal to 0. Similarly, del y by del x at x equals to l, this will become c1 was already 0, you will get minus k c2 into sine kl equal to 0. C2 cannot be equal to 0 because that will lead to the trivial solution, right? Trivial solution. So the only choice is sine kl equal to 0, which means if sine of kl is equals to 0, this will give kl equal to n pi, which means k is equals to n pi by l. So the same type of conditions that we are getting earlier can now be achieved using the boundary conditions with insulation. So what happens in insulation? Del y by del x at x equal to 0 and del y by del x at x equal to l, whichever point is insulated will give you this. If only one point were insulated, then they will give you one boundary condition, okay, like either zero boundary condition or non-zero boundary condition, and one insulation. So you have to mix the conditions, like you will find the boundary, you will use this boundary condition, and then you will also use this insulation wala condition, that del y by del x at that particular point is 0. So these are the main 3-4 type of topic questions that are like asked. So what are the possible questions? The question number one, the very easy way, that you have zero boundary conditions. Okay, zero boundary conditions and some initial condition. Initial condition is usually a function where it will say that y of x0 will be some function of x, like mu of lx minus x square, or it can be y naught of sine cube x, that kind of things, so that you can apply the Fourier transform, Fourier series, not transform, Fourier series. Question 2 will be of the type where you will have non-zero boundary conditions. Non-zero boundary conditions. Here, what will be your case? What you will do? You will split solution in two parts. What will the two parts? First part will be, you will write y xt is equals to u x, the steady state solution. Okay, steady state solution plus the transient solution. Okay, which will depend on time. This is the transient solution, and you will solve for this. We will solve the whole equation for this and finally substitute in the given equation. How will you solve? We will write ut of xt. Okay, ut of xt is equals to y of xt minus usx, and we choose usx using the steady state condition that u equal to ax plus b, and putting the value given at the boundary. And when you subtract these, you will always get the boundary conditions at 0. Boundary conditions as 0. Okay, as 0. And what will be the third type of question? Question number 3 will be mixture of 1 or 2 with the condition of insulation. The condition of insulation. So you will get either one boundary condition instead of two boundary conditions, or no boundary conditions. No boundary condition. The boundary condition can be both 0 or non-zero. It can depend on the question, but you will be given at least one end is insulated. So let's say del y by del x, del u by del x, or del y by del x, and that x equal to maybe 0 or x equal to L, or both will be given as 0, and it will not give you like this. It will only say that this end is insulated. This end is insulated. That will be the only thing that it will say. Let's look at this question. If you see the part B, a rod of 30 centimeter long has its end A and B kept at 20 and 80 degree respectively until steady state conditions prevail. So what will be the steady state solution? You will write US of x equal to ax plus b, and you can find the a and b using the condition that x equal to 0, temperature is 20, and at x equal to 80, at x equal to 30 centimeter, that is x equal to 30, the temperature is 80. From that you will find the initial state solution or the steady state solution. Then temperature at each end is suddenly reduced to 0. Final temperature at each end is 0. Okay, so this is very easy. This is
Sir, we are not able to see the PDF.
oh, okay. Let me share it out. Just give it. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So if you see the question in part B, okay, so initially the temperature is kept at 20 and 80 degree, and it and they say we keep the rod like this till the steady state prevail. So from this you will get the initial condition fx, the curve for fx, and then suddenly both ends become 0 and kept so. So you don't need to do anything. This becomes the case number 1, where both the boundary conditions are 0, and the initial condition is found using the steady state solution. Okay, now look at some question where they have now read the question number, example number 2. Part B is the thing that we need to focus upon. Okay. I think the meeting time is almost over. So if you see in the part B, they have raised the temperature of A to 20 degrees centigrade and temperature of B to that of 80 degrees centigrade. So now these lead to a non-zero ends. So what we do in the non-zero ends, we split the solution in two parts. That is the steady state part, and the other part will be your transient part. Okay, so if you come to the solution part B, you can see please see the equation number 9. They have written uxt equal to u1x, which is the steady state part, and u2xt, which is the transient part. And steady state part can be easily found. I told you how to find it, and transient part can easily be found. And this is the way. So what you guys should do now is please try this question. Okay, please try these questions. You can find the IMF. You can practice it from the IMS PDFs. available in the drive, or you can practice it from the advanced MDR book, Rai Singhania book. Or the best thing will be just do the PYQs, more than sufficient. PYQs are more than sufficient. I will share it in the group, in the PDE group. Do these questions and let me know. Okay, message me. You guys can message me personally. If you still find problems in this, we can arrange another Zoom call, and in that we can solve questions. Right? But just send me your doubts in what questions are you facing the problems, and then we can solve those questions in the Zoom call. So that will be helpful for both of us. Like it will be easier for me to actually tackle the problem that you guys are facing. Okay. So please ask if you guys have any doubt that you want to ask right now. So I will share the PDF in the group, and then you guys can practice these questions, and then you guys can ask the same questions. So any question, any doubt regarding this, how to write a solution? So if both ends are zero, it's straightforward. If both ends are non-zero, then you have to apply the split the solution in steady state and transient state. And if any of the end is insulated, then it means that at that particular point, del y or del u, whatever be the temperature distribution, partial differential with respect to x should be zero. That is the whole concept behind it. You don't need to learn anything. It's just very, questions are really simple. They're lengthy, very bulky, very calculative, but questions of application of PD are actually simple. If you practice enough, you will get like very comfortable with it. Okay. So I think meeting will end in 3 minutes. So please ask any doubt that you guys have, and please practice the questions. I'm sharing the PDF with you guys. Okay. And if you still find it difficult to solve, we can definitely arrange other call on the weekend. Okay, so I think you guys don't have any doubt. Okay, please, I think it was helpful. Did you get any clarity, like how to go about the heat equations now? Nitish?
Yes, sir. It was helpful.
So I'm sharing the PDF in the PDE group. Okay. So do these questions, heat equations, and there will be questions from Laplace also. Okay. So those are very easy and not very frequent. So just make up your mind, do you really want to do that or not? And there was one question on circular plates also, that is polar coordinates, which was very, very lengthy. So that type of question should be skipped in the exam if it comes, because the solution is very, very lengthy. It will take a lot of time to solve it. But if you guys want to do that concept, we can like do that in another Zoom call. Temperature distribution along a circular plate or semicircular plate using the polar coordinates, that can be done. If you want to discuss it, we can discuss it in another Zoom call. But don't spend too much time on it, because in the exam also, if that question comes, it is better to leave it and go for other questions. The reason being, the solution is very, very, very lengthy. So you will have to like devote lot of time to solve it, and time is like not a luxury in the exam, because math paper is anyway very lengthy. So that type of question should not be picked. But there might be a case then you are not able to solve other questions. Then obviously you will be left with no choice than to do it. Okay. So please, I have shared the PDF in the PDE group, like the old PDE group, the G20 group. Please solve these questions. These are a PYQs which actually came in the exam, and you will see questions are not very tough. Just keep this in mind, that when to apply, when to split the solutions in transient and steady state, and when to apply del u by del x equal to 0, that is the case of insulation. If you are able to apply this, then everything is very mechanical, that you just have to just compare the values and make constants 0, that kind of things. Okay. And I will also share the advanced PD book with you. I will share the link in the group so that if you want to see examples and practice, then you can find that in that video, advanced MDR PDF. Okay. So I'm sharing both of these things with you. You can either go with advanced PDA or you can go with IMS notes also on this. Both are fine because IMS notes are also exact copy of advanced PDA.